Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's tutorial, we'll build a complete billing system for your Chimerai application using Stripe. By the end of this video, your application will be able to synchronize products directly from Stripe, process subscriptions and one-time payments, securely receive webhook events, and automatically keep your billing data in sync. The best part is that you won't have to write any Stripe-specific business logic yourself. Chimerai takes care of the heavy lifting so you can focus on building your application. Let's get started. As always, we'll begin by creating a new Chimerai application. For this tutorial, we'll use SQLite as our database. During the feature selection, choose the Billing System feature. Next, you'll be asked which billing provider you'd like to use. Select Stripe. Once the project has been created, navigate into the application directory. Now run the installation script. The installer downloads all required packages, initializes the database, and prepares everything we'll need throughout this tutorial. Depending on your machine and internet connection, this process may take a few minutes. Before our application can communicate with Stripe, we'll need a Stripe account. If you don't already have one, simply visit dashboard.stripe.com and create a free account. For development, Stripe provides a fully featured sandbox, sometimes called test mode. This allows you to build and test your entire billing workflow without processing any real payments. Make sure test mode is enabled. You can switch between live mode and test mode using the toggle in the upper right corner of the Stripe dashboard. For this tutorial, we'll stay entirely inside the sandbox environment. Our application now needs permission to communicate with Stripe. To do that, we'll configure two API keys. The first one is the publishable key. This key is safe to expose to the front end and is used whenever the browser communicates with Stripe. The second one is the secret key. As the name suggests, this key must always remain private. It allows our backend to create checkout sessions, synchronize products, and perform other privileged operations. Copy both keys and temporarily store them in a text editor. We'll add them to our application's environment file a little later. Now let's create a few products. Open the product catalog inside the Stripe dashboard. We'll begin with a product that uses monthly recurring billing. This creates a subscription that automatically renews every month. Next, let's create another product. This time, we'll use yearly recurring billing. Finally, let's add one more product with a one-time price. Unlike subscriptions, this product is purchased only once and doesn't renew automatically. At first glance, these products look very similar. However, from Stripe's perspective, they're handled quite differently. Subscriptions and one-time payments use different checkout flows and are processed by different APIs behind the scenes. Fortunately, Chimerai detects these differences automatically. Later in this tutorial, we'll take a closer look at how this works and why it matters. For now, our Stripe account is fully prepared. The next step is establishing secure communication between Stripe and our local development environment. Before we can test payments locally, there's one more important piece we need to configure. Whenever something important happens in Stripe, for example, a successful payment, a renewed subscription, or a canceled subscription, Stripe sends an event to our application. These events are called webhooks. Without webhooks, our application would never know whether a payment actually succeeded. Since we're developing locally, Stripe can't directly reach our machine over the internet. Fortunately, Stripe provides a command line tool that solves exactly this problem. It's called the Stripe CLI. Open the Stripe CLI GitHub releases page and download the version that matches your operating system. In this tutorial, we'll use the Windows version. I recommend downloading the zip archive directly into your project directory. Once the download is finished, we're ready to install the CLI. Extract the zip archive. After extracting the files, open a terminal inside that directory. We're now ready to connect the CLI to our Stripe account. Run the command stripe login. The CLI generates a verification link. Open that link in your browser. Stripe will ask you to authorize the CLI to access your account. After confirming the request, you'll receive a verification code. Enter the code into the terminal. That's it. Your local Stripe CLI is now securely connected to your Stripe account. Now let's start our Chimerai application. With the front end running, we can configure the final connection between Stripe and our local development environment. Open a second terminal. Now run the following command. Stripe listen forward to localhost port 3001/API/billing/webhook. This command does two things. First, it listens for all events generated by your Stripe account. Second, it automatically forwards those events to the billing webhook inside your local Chimerai application. From this point on, your application behaves almost exactly as if it were running on a public production server. When the command starts successfully, Stripe returns a webhook signing secret. Copy this value and store it together with the API keys we saved earlier. We'll need it in just a moment. We now have everything we need. Open your application's .env file. Enter the Stripe secret key. Next, add the publishable key. Finally, paste the webhook signing secret. These three values allow Chimerai to communicate securely with Stripe and verify that every webhook event really originates from Stripe. Once you've saved the file, the billing system is fully configured. Restart the application so the new environment variables are loaded. Everything is now ready. Let's test our billing system. Open the application in your browser and log in using the default administrator account. Navigate to the billing page. One thing you'll notice immediately is that we never imported our Stripe products manually. That's because Chimerai automatically synchronizes your product catalog whenever the billing page is opened. The application connects to Stripe, retrieves every available product and price, and displays them automatically. There's no import button, no synchronization step, and no manual configuration. Your Stripe catalog becomes the single source of truth, ensuring that your application always displays the latest products directly from your Stripe account. Now let's purchase one of our products. Simply click the Action button on one of the product cards. Behind the scenes, Chimerai automatically creates the appropriate Stripe checkout session. You don't have to decide whether this should be a subscription checkout or a one-time payment checkout. The framework determines the correct flow automatically. Next, we're redirected to Stripe's secure hosted checkout page. For testing, Stripe provides several test payment methods. We'll use the standard test credit card. Complete the checkout process. After the payment succeeds, Stripe automatically redirects us back to our application. At almost the same moment, Stripe also sends a webhook event to our backend. The billing module verifies the webhook signature, processes the event, and updates the payment status on the server. This server-side confirmation is extremely important. It ensures that billing information cannot be manipulated from the browser and that your application always stays synchronized with your Stripe account. At this point, we've completed an entire payment flow, from our Chimerai application to Stripe and safely back again. At this point, we've successfully completed our first checkout. Now let's take a closer look at what's happening behind the scenes. Understanding this concept is important because it's one of the areas where Stripe often confuses developers. When you create a product in Stripe, you also create one or more prices. Each price belongs to one of two categories. It can either be recurring, meaning it's a subscription, or it can be one-time, meaning it's a single payment. Although both appear as products inside your Stripe dashboard, Stripe treats them very differently. A recurring price creates a real subscription. Stripe automatically handles recurring charges, invoices, renewals, payment retries, and cancellations for you. A one-time price works differently. The customer pays once, the payment is completed, and that's the end of the transaction. There are no renewals and no recurring billing. This difference also affects the checkout process itself. Stripe actually provides two different checkout modes. For subscriptions, you must use subscription checkout. For one-time purchases, you must use payment checkout. If you accidentally use the wrong checkout mode for a product, Stripe immediately rejects the request and no checkout session is created. This is one of the most common mistakes developers make when integrating Stripe manually. Fortunately, Chimerai takes care of this automatically. When the billing page loads, the application retrieves every product and price directly from Stripe. Whenever a customer clicks one of the product cards, Chimerai inspects the selected price. If the price contains a billing interval, the framework automatically creates a subscription checkout session. If no billing interval exists, it automatically creates a payment checkout session instead. You don't have to write any conditional logic. You don't have to inspect Stripe objects. And you don't have to worry about using the correct checkout mode. Even the user interface reflects this behavior. Products with recurring billing automatically display a subscribe button. Products with one-time pricing display pay once instead. So before your customer even clicks the button, it's already clear what kind of purchase they're about to make. From a developer's perspective, this makes the entire billing workflow incredibly simple. Just create products in Stripe. Whether they're monthly subscriptions, yearly subscriptions, or one-time purchases doesn't matter. Chimerai automatically detects the correct billing flow and handles everything for you. No additional configuration, no custom business logic. It simply works. Of course, every payment can also be monitored directly inside your Stripe dashboard. Stripe provides several pages for tracking your billing activity. One of the most useful sections is Balances, where you can see your current account balance and available funds. The Transactions page shows every individual payment, refund, and financial event processed by your account. And the Billing Overview gives you a complete overview of subscriptions, recurring revenue, invoices, and customer billing activity. I encourage you to spend some time exploring the Stripe dashboard. It's an incredibly powerful platform, and becoming familiar with these pages will make managing your billing system much easier. And that's it for this tutorial. In just a few minutes, we've built a complete Stripe billing system inside our Chimerai application. We created Stripe products with different pricing models, configured secure API communication, connected our application using the Stripe CLI, set up webhook forwarding for local development, automatically synchronized products from Stripe, processed both subscriptions and one-time payments, and completed an entire checkout flow from our application to Stripe and safely back again. Along the way, you've also seen how Chimerai removes much of the complexity that normally comes with integrating a payment platform. Instead of writing different checkout flows, synchronizing products manually, or worrying about recurring billing logic, you simply configure Stripe once and let Chimerai handle the rest. Whether you're building a SaaS platform, selling digital products, offering premium AI features, or creating subscription-based applications, the billing module gives you a solid foundation that you can extend to fit your own project. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd also love to hear your feedback, so let me know in the comments what you'd like to see next. You can learn more about Chimerai at chimerai.dev. And if you have questions, suggestions, or feature requests, feel free to contact us at contact@chimerai.dev. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye.
I was buried in tabs in a half-built dream. Too many prompts in a broken machine. Then you showed up on my late night screen. A clean little spark where the noise used to be. Got the models ready, got the code in place. Less time, wasting more time. APIs humming through the quiet of the night. Every test that passed felt like a win. Built a better future from the mess I was in. When the doubts come quiet